Welcome to your daily 180 Bible study. We've been talking about the importance of obeying God from the heart, making sure that our religion isn't just something that's external, but something that really has meaning deep within us. And the gospel has the power to transform our hearts if they're not what they should be in the sight of God. You know, for many of the Jews back in the first century, they looked out at the people in the Gentile world and they thought, there's just no redeeming these people. They're so far away from God. There were people who had a hard time believing that God could accept the Gentiles, that they could be a part of the Christian fellowship that they enjoyed in Jesus Christ. It took many years for some people to get past that. And they were still having a problem with that some years after the church had gotten going. And so in Acts 15, there was a council that was called together in the city of Jerusalem, consisting of the apostles and the elders. And Peter stands up and reminds them of something. He tells them in verse number 7, after a lot of dispute had been had both ways, he says, "Men and brethren, you know that a good while ago God chose among us that by my mouth the Gentiles should hear the word of the gospel and believe. So God, who knows the heart, acknowledged them by giving them the Holy Spirit, just as He did to us, and made no distinction between us and them." Notice this, purifying their hearts by faith. These people that we had thought for so long were just irredeemable. There's no way that they could be brought and reconciled to God. God took them. When He knew their hearts, He purified those hearts by faith. In 1 Peter chapter 1, we see as well there, verses 22 and 23, that God purifies our hearts through obedience. When we obey the gospel of Jesus Christ, when we see what He has done, we fall in love with Him and we begin to do what He has commanded. It changes us not only on the outside, but deeply within. And God, we learn, has the power to cleanse even the most wicked of hearts. God also has the power to unify hearts in a world that's so divided along racial lines, along gender lines, along lines of socioeconomic status, along political lines. God has the ability to bring people together. And so we read in Acts 4 verse 32, the early disciples were of one heart and one soul. The gospel has the power to bring all people together, no matter who we are.